3, 2. Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Author Doc B. She's in the building. And guess what? We have a special treat for you tonight. Now, sit back, relax. Let me tell you something. You better go get that popcorn
Get the
because it's going
popcorn.
down in the hood. Say hello to my co-host. Triple A is in the building, baby.
In the building with the host,
Woo, we got
building,
Mr. and
and
Mrs.
I am the
Davis. Now,
co-host,
you want to tell
Azzam
them all
Abdullah
about Bring It to the
Aziz.
Table? You want to tell them, Azzam?
Yes, please let me tell them, sis, because we are here at Bring It to the Table once again every Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9. This is where it go down at, where this is the podcast that addresses social justices, issues in our community, equality and freedom that's needed for proper healing. We talk about addressing the everyday people who have overcome, conquered, and survived all types of addictions and traumas and are living beyond their dreams. This podcast, let's be clear, it's a offspring for Felicia Burton's book titled The 3 C's, How I Survived Crack Cancer and COVID-19. Let's not forget that she has a memoir, a self-help tool, which is a 30-day regimen to help you become healthy. And as I always add, health is worth. She has been nominated on Amazon and acknowledged for the best-selling health book. Now, let's be clear. We are on streaming Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Indeed, YouTube. Listen, Facebook, it is going down. Click, like, share. You better go get somebody. Hit them up right now. You have time to hit them up because we have 2 wonderful guests that's coming on the show.
I'm telling you.
And Mrs. Davis, they're going to talk about their journey, you know what I'm saying, through surviving some trauma and how they live now in a new place that we call recovery. And we're going to hear, and please, you about to learn something tonight. Please, Author Doc B, let's bring our guest from the back and it's about to go down.
Oh, I'm about to ready to bring them on. I'm now. I just want to give y'all a warning. Now I know both of them very well, so I just need to give you that warning right now. I have worked side by side with them both. Now you know they say the way that you get to know somebody is you work together with them, you live together with them, or you travel with them. And I worked side by side with both of them. So it's about to go on. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, make sure you please click like and share, invite someone. And I'm going to bring on Mr. and Mrs. Davis.
Let's go. What up?
Let's get it.
Stop playing. Go right there. Stop playing. What's going on,
baby?
Hey,
Tommy. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Great. How y'all doing?
Oh man, it's a great day to be alive.
I know that's right. On
purpose. Day to be alive.
On purpose.
That's my man right there. Tommy D in the building with his queen, baby. The queen herself is in the building. That's my girl. Hey, Freddie. There go Freddie in the background. Freddie want to come out and hang out with us. Hey, Freddie. How you doing, sir?
He said it's comical.
Boy, he can stand right there. He ain't got to go nowhere. That's our boy, Freddie. Oh, my God. The audience is filling up. I need y'all to drop some stuff in this chat now. I need y'all to be interactive today because, listen, we like an interactive audience. Now, my internet is acting up, so you got to be on the lookout, co-host, because, you know, sometimes it gets...
I got you.
I see y'all on YouTube. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I see you on Facebook. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Oh, hey, Miss Scott is in the building. She said, hey, mother. Hey, y'all. How you doing? Hey, Tasha. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Sean. Thank y'all all for joining. We really do appreciate you all out there on LinkedIn and YouTube and Spotify. And what's the X again? That's that Twitter account. That stuff is too much to keep up with. I can't say hi to all of y'all, but thank you for all your support each and every week. Hey, Raheem is there. Hi, sweetie pie. That's my sugar lump right there, okay? You see, hey, Raheem, you see Miss Pat slid over to underneath Tommy's arm. That's right. Let him know, Pat. Let him know, baby. Let him know. Yep, that's right. Yes, he's watching. He's watching. He's watching. He's watching.
Let me took that ride to New York.
Good people.
We took that ride to New York.
You better leave Freddie alone back there.
Yo, that dementia kicking up. You kidding me?
That's okay. That's my boy right there.
He acting
Pat,
up.
okay, so I sent you all a list of questions, and we just gonna
Yes,
get
I have it
into
right here. I have it right here. Mr. and Mrs. Davis,
Yeah,
are y'all
you gotta
ready?
be
It is
open.
going
Are y'all
down.
ready? Yeah, it's
So
going down.
the question's gonna be for both of y'all. You can keep the answers as however you want to do it. We be straightforward. This is what that's why it's called bring it to the table. We keep it 100, transparent. Go any way you want to go, right? So the first question we have for y'all, right? Where did y'all grow up?
I grew up in Southwest Philadelphia, 52nd and Woodland.
Okay, okay. Tell us about that.
I grew up in them gang war days.
Whoa, okay, okay.
Nice.
And at what age did that start for you?
What?
The game, affiliation.
About 14, 13, 14.
Okay. Where'd you grow up, Pat?
In South Philadelphia, in the projects. I'm a project. I'm a product of the project.
Okay.
On 13th Street in South Philadelphia.
Okay. So both of y'all.
So y'all gotta bear with me.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So look, I thank you for coming on. Regardless, you know me, I'll pop my joints out in a minute. Everybody know that. I'm surprised I put them in tonight. I thought I was cute all day though, so that's a whole different story. That's my stuff. And so both of y'all grew up in South Philly.
Yeah,
man.
Southwest, South Philly.
Okay, but they right there, but they right there. All you had to do was cross that bridge. Cross that bridge, yep. I remember. I ain't been far removed from there. Okay. That's good. So what was the next question? Go ahead, Azzam.
So the next one be in all that, was there any addiction, trauma, mental health in the household that led to you now? Because it seemed like whatever's going on there led you to go outside.
Well, let me say, for me, now that I'm grown and working kind of in the field and taking trainings, I didn't know then, but there was some trauma involved. I don't know. Today they call it trauma.
Grown, Tommy? Did you say you was grown?
No. I said today they call it trauma. Back then, you got your behind whooped for doing stuff you ain't had no business doing. But
Tommy, I can't skip over that. I can't skip over that, Tom. You said you was grown.
I said I was grown. Oh no, I'm grown.
Thank you.
I'm grown. Now that I'm older.
There you go.
Now that I'm older, I look back over some things after getting educated on some things that I had no clue about back then.
Okay.
That maybe it was some trauma. Maybe I was traumatized from them butt whoopings I was getting. And then I was the kind of the black sheep in my family. So I always kind of caught it. And that's what led me outside.
Okay.
Hanging with the people I had no business hanging with.
What about you, Pat?
Well, in my household, it was 5 of us. Well, four, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I was the middle child. My parents were married. We went to Catholic school. And we kind of like, my mom at one point, was a barmaid and things like that, but that was normal for when you're growing up in the project. And she beat us, and things like that when we didn't do what we supposed to do, our chores or whatever. But I didn't see it as a trauma experience because everybody got their butt whooped with extension cord shoes, broomsticks, frying pans, threw the shoe at you, you run underneath the bed, you hide, and you just learn to do like this every time she walk by because you don't know what's coming at you, So, so the trauma, at that age, I didn't see it as trauma. It was normal behavior.
Right.
So if it's a mental health issue, we didn't see it as that. It was like, oh, mom will snap out if you don't do what you're supposed to do. So It was normal. We normalized the behavior.
Right. We didn't have those words that we know now, like dysfunctional, and things of that nature. The mascot, the lost child. It was just, this is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy that you said it, because real quick, we were just talking about this yesterday. I came from the place where your neighbor could beat you.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Absolutely.
Your
Yeah.
And then get it when your parents are home.
So
Yeah.
so
Let Big Mama catch you under the bed. Let Big Mama have to chase you, and she get tired. When she catch her breath, you get ready to get up. Go
It's a
get
wrap.
that crib. Go on.
It's a wrap.
So who actually raised y'all separately, of course, and who was in the household? Who was like was it brothers, sisters, both parents? I know she said both parents was there. What about you, Mr. D?
Well, me, both of my parents are still, they were still here at the time. My mom and dad had a bad breakup. My dad took us from my mom, it was four of us, four boys, and he kind of left us at his mother's house. And that's where we were raised at. Now, me, as I told you from the beginning, I was the black sheep because I always had lip. I always spoke about my mom. And because I spoke about my mom, I kept my that kept me getting butt whoopings. My dad used to call them butt cuts, right? So I got a butt cut on a daily. And I love my grandmother, but I think she mistreated me in ways that she didn't treat my siblings. She said some hurtful things to me growing up that made me kind of look down on me. So there was no, in my opinion, the love in the house wasn't there for me. And then my grandmother was one of them Southern old women who was incapable of showing you or telling you that she loved you. My dad also. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a little rough for me. And like I said before, that was traumatic experience that led me into those streets.
Gotcha.
Because I had to find love somewhere. It may have been in the wrong place, but the boys on the block seemed to care more for me than my family. Feel me?
What about you, Pat?
I was raised by primarily my mother, but every summer we went to spend the summer with my dad in New York. So my mom raised us. We went to Catholic school, and then in the summertime we spent time with my dad in New York. So I was raised with all of my siblings, and again, we were one of them families in the project because my mother always worked and always, made a way to make things happen for us. And I felt a lot of love and support from my mother. Now, my siblings picked with me all the time. I was the pickable one because I was always somebody's little sister or somebody big sister because my brothers are younger than me and my sisters were older than me. So I was always trapped in the middle. And so like what my husband ascribed to, I would go outside, even outside of the neighborhood, to find a place to belong. So I kind of was raised by my parents in two different cities. And for me, it wasn't so bad because like I said, my father spoiled me rotten. I was his baby girl. I love the ground that man walked on, rest his soul. I was his baby. So I got the love and the nurturing from my father, even when he had problems that he struggled with, he still showed me love. He still came down. He still made sure he provided for us. What do you need, baby? What you want, baby? Come on, I'm going to show you this. And he spoke like 3 different languages. And he would be talking to these people in New York, Spanish. He spoke French and he spoke Creole. And so he would be talking. The next thing I know, I had loads of stuff in the house, So I had a lot of love shown to me when I was growing up. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Next question. This is a fire question. Any incarcerations? Look who's the D.
God, look at that. Look at that.
Listen, one thing I'll do, my wife know me. She know everything about me.
Mhm.
I'm an open book. Jails have became my way of life.
Come on, tell it, Tommy. Tell the story.
Jails have became my way of life, man, because them boys I was hanging with on the street, when grandma told me, sit your butt on that step, don't move, but I was going down there anyway, and I would take that butt whooping, but I still go back down there. Well, as a direct result of that hard-headedness, I ended up in jails quite frequently.
Okay.
Not only did I end up in jail, but what caused the incarcerations was I started playing around recreational with freebasing. We were talking about the weed and the black beauties and the Christmas trees, the volumes back in them days.
Yeah.
That was the get high stuff. I'm talking about freebasing. That led me, in and out of jail, until 2003 was my last time incarcerated. And I made a decision that wasn't for me no more. I went in that jail last time at 38 years old. I looked around that jail and saw all them kids running around. I said, the light came on. This ain't me. I can't do this no more.
I don't belong here. I do not belong here.
My God's grace and His mercy, right? I haven't been back in there since.
Come on.
Good stuff.
Come on, Tommy.
Mrs. David, what about you? Any jail experience?
Well, my children are hearing this now. I think
I never heard it before. You got to be kidding.
No. I think I was about 10 or 12 years old. And we lived in South Philadelphia, so we would walk downtown to like John Wanamaker's, Lit Brothers, and Strawbridge and Clothier. And I hung with a bunch of shoplifter boosters. They would give me the bag to hold because I was a little kid. So one day they snatched me, and the grown people that took me shoplifting left me there. And my mom came to the youth study center. I thought I was in Rikers Island. You ain't never had to worry about me ever doing anything bad after that one day. And she came and got me, and they kept telling her, this ain't your daughter. Because my mother was a beautiful woman. She always dressed like me, I guess.
Oh,
and I guess
do
that's
the
what I
same
get from.
thing.
But
yeah.
They was telling her, you ain't got no child this age. And I'm dressing up trying to look fresh and grown. And my mom was always this nice, thin, beautiful woman. And they made her go get my birth certificate and all that before she can get me out there. I think I stayed there overnight, but it felt like I was there for a whole year. I've never, ever wanted to go back to jail. So I didn't.
Nice.
So it was just one experience.
Go, Patty. Go, Patty. I know that's right.
So what would be the age when you first started experiencing drugs? Before the free base or any of that, what age? What was the onset?
I guess I was about 13.
13?
Okay.
And you can get a bag. You go out, all your homies put together $1 a piece and get that $5 bag where you get 11 joints out of.
That part, the brown bag.
You know what I'm talking about. And walk. My grandmother gave everybody $2 in the morning for school. That $1 went to that, and the other $1, and we would walk to school. That was your bus fare to get to school and get back. There's $1 to get on the bus back then, and $1, 50 cents. And she gave you $2 every morning. Well, my $2 went to the get high, and we would walk to school only to go to the school and show our face and turn around and walk back. And getting high, the the marijuana, I can sit here and say that was the fun getting high days. In the end, it wasn't nothing funny.
Nothing funny, nothing nice. It wasn't nothing nice.
I didn't realize that I was setting myself up with the recreational and the gateway drug.
Yeah.
And doing some other stuff. So I was about 13 when I first started.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me just take a moment to say hello to our audience. We have so many, but they're just pouring right in. We want to thank you all for joining, bringing it to the table. We really do appreciate you. Please meet Mr. and Mrs. Davis. They are giving it up. I can't wait to get to some more juicy stuff, honey, because it's getting ready to go down tonight. Go get your popcorn, click like and share. Thank you, Elroy, for joining. Thank you, Yaya, all the way from Africa. He never misses. He's from the Gambia. He sends his greetings to you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Mr. Hillard. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, we got Latasha. Oh, that's my Atlanta crew. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Faces by Pureness. Ooh, they said, wow, we're loving this. Please keep going. Listen, guys, we like an interactive audience. Please click like and share and ask questions to the Davises. They're open-minded. Trust me. I already know. Listen, Pat, some of your kids up here almost, hey, mom, mother, this is really good. You got CALYPSO. Saying hi, mother. Then you got Miss Scott. She's all over. She like South Philly in the house and all kinds of stuff, commenting and everything. And those are the ones from that one. It's just so many of them. Let me go back over here. Hi, Bill. Hi, Tasha. Hi, Henry. Thank you all for joining. We really do appreciate you. Click like and share. Invite someone. Please invite one person. Mm-hmm. We really do appreciate that because it's getting ready to go down. We about to enter into our second half, and y'all know what happens in the second half. Let's go.
So
let's go.
Mrs. Davis, your age when you first started, first drug and age.
So I think I was about 11 years old because I lived adjunction to the famous South Street. And on South Street at Sigurd Playground, they would have this Thunderbird wine. And they would have MD 2020 wine. And they would have beer. And of course, I'm fresh and grown. I'm hanging out with my girlfriend who older brothers would be there doo-wopping and singing down on South Street, down on 5th and South and 11th and South. And I would take the sip of the wine and it felt like I was spinning. Mm-hmm. So I stopped that immediately. But then I remember in New York, the kids they was calling it reefers. And they was asking me, where's my dad? And I was wondering why these kids always looking for my dad. Because he had the reefers stashed in the brownstone down in Flatbush. So I'm like 12 years old. And I'm with my cousin Rick. And he was like, girl, this reefer, you don't know nothing about this. And I took one puff. And I think I woke up the next day trying to figure out what happened to me. Then I come back to South Philadelphia, and I think so it was like I was drinking wine and smoking weed with my cousins and hanging out and stuff like that. By the time I was 13 and 14 years old, and this is the blessing, I was skin popping and mainlining heroin in South Philadelphia. Yeah, get that. I was 12 and 13 years old. And I was trained how to do Ritz and Teas, which was Ritalin and Towin, mix it up in a bottle and put needles into grown folks' arms because I had a steady hand.
Come on.
And I tried it and I threw up. I'm telling you my story. These are things that kind of be in the back of my mind. And so I lived in an environment where drugs were plentiful. Wow. So at a very early age, I was experimenting with all kinds of drugs, and I did some acid trips, and the ground stopped moving, So I tried a little bit of all of that early on when I was just a kid, before I even had children. I'm talking about.
Well, let me tell you something. One of your Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate your transparency. I already knew you was going to bring it to the table. I already know it was going to be a no holds bar with you. That's one of my favorite things I really love about you, and that's your open mindedness and your passion when you're talking. You know, you're a serious person. You don't play that. But your daughter in the chat, she tripping. She in the chat tripping. I just want you to know that. She like lock me up. They won't let me out. She's saying stuff in the chat. So, and that's good. We really like, and she like this. What? She did one of these. She said, what? My mother was tripping. What? She doing like this in the chat. Keep it coming. I love it, Miss Scott. I love it. Thank you so much. I am Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for joining. Hi, Miss Banks. Thank you for joining. Chanel, thank you so much. We really do appreciate you all. We got to acknowledge our audience because we need them to keep coming back, baby. Keep coming back. So, Pat, they said Pat was too daggone chill. You was too chill back then. This is all the comments in the chat. Blowing it up. Thank you so much. And say, hey, y'all. Wait a minute. We got it's Ladevia. Ladevia. Hi, Ladevia. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you all. Please click like and share, invite someone because we about to go into the second half and it might get a little ugly.
So at this time now, what was it like at the end of the road?
Ooh, baby. Come on, Pat. Give us yours. At the end of the road.
So after I experimented with every drug known to man, and at the end of my road, I thought I was like a drug dealer because I was living in a project. And I used to snort cocaine. Then somebody showed me how, I don't know how to make it, but they used the ammonia and take that powder and twirl it around in the powder and then get this great big torch and burn half my face off. And they called that freebasing. And then I learned how to just put, I don't know the ingredients, but it was some baking soda and water, and you put it on the stove, and then you
don't try this at home. Do not try this at home. Please don't try this at home. Do not try this at home. I'm just letting you know. This is Bring It to the Table, where we address real issues in the community that people have gone through, like you and me, who has overcome, conquered, survived, and is now living beyond your dreams. Because you ain't get to the good stuff. She's telling you on her journey at the end. Before we cross over into the recovery piece. But come on, Pat. Give it to them raw. That's what we do here.
I learned how to what back then was freebasing, and it took me from the 80s till the 90s, a 10-year run. I didn't do nothing. I didn't want nothing but crack. I was crack in the morning, crack in the evening, crack in the night. That was my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And my God, I could not listen. You couldn't tell me what's not wrong with me because I was, getting high off my own supply. Because I thought I was a drug dealer. Okay. But baby, at the end of my run, I was somewhere contemplating because I knew what girls were doing things for things. But somehow my story ain't like everybody else's story. It don't make me better than, or it just made me different. I had a different experience. I couldn't find myself doing all the things that I watched my brothers and people go through. Then for somebody to get one more, at the end of the road, I was skitzing down I walked from 23rd and Wharton in South Philadelphia to 5th and Glenwood, trying to find my uncle because I had $2.50 and I was trying to get somebody to go halfty with me because I can get me a tall boy so I can just take the edge off. That never happened. And that was in March of 1990. It was a wrap.
So how many years you got there? How many years?
Over 34.
Woo! Thanks for staying.
Woo! March of 1990, my body I was aching. I was hurting. I felt like I was losing my mind. And I went to the largest Shirley shelter and slept in spillover on the floor for one whole month. I just did not want to go back to the trap houses, the crack houses, the speakeasy, all of those things that I was associated with. I just didn't want it no more. And I did one of them foxhole prayers. The God saved me. My children, I was blessed because my family took them over, right? But that crack, that was my drug of choice, babe. You couldn't tell me I wasn't ever going to stop smoking crack. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you. That was the end of Pat Richardson's role. You heard her. She did anything and everything out there. And then she went and got into a foxhole prayer. She had some faith still left. So this was what I want to tell the audience out of her end of the road. You still have some faith. You still believe. You still know on the inside that something is out there rooting for you on your side because you see, look at her today. She got 34 years. Come on, let's bring it to the table. So don't try to stay home. Don't do it at home. Come on, Tommy. Give it up, baby. Come on.
Listen, thank you for sharing it, baby. That was insight. But you know, and she's right. Everybody's road was different. Because at the end of my road, it wasn't pretty, man. You know, I picked up that drug at a very young age. When I look back up, one thing for certain, two things for sure. When you're doing the wrong thing, time fly. When you're doing the right thing, time fly. When I picked up that drug, when I look back up, man, years have passed by, man. And at the end of my road, I thought I was a drug dealer too.
Come on.
Listen, man. Listen. We ain't gonna talk about the times, right? That when the boy's sitting on the porch, you know, whenever all the money ran out, and I'm gonna share this because some people need to hear this. When that boy was sitting on the porch talking about flipping his money, right? And you know you ain't got nothing left, right? I'm talking about where the drug took me to, right? And the money looked good, but what he wanted didn't sound good.
Come on,
the disease was so overpowering, man, that I found myself doing stuff I had no business doing, man. Listen, there was a time in my active addiction, right, when I thought that I had it going on. I had a little car washing joint going on the side of my grandmother's house. I was doing everybody's car from Beanie Siegel to Miss Jade. I thought I was the joint. I thought I was that boy. Forgetting the fact that I'm running up my grandmother's water and ain't giving her a dime for the water because my disease said, yeah, you're going to break her off when you're done. But that disease said, no, we copping. Listen, she talked about those foxhole prayers, man. I remember walking around them streets, man, asking God to take this thing from me, man. I remember when I was getting high, right, and didn't want to get high. Using behind my own. Listen, at the end of my road, man, it was ugly, man. It was ugly. Listen, I shared this earlier, right? That foxhole prayer got answered September the 4th, 2003, when the Philadelphia police, for the last time, they didn't lock me up this time, they rescued me. Because there was something about sitting in the back of that car that last time, right, that I knew that it was over. I knew that it was over. So, I've been clean now for 20 years and some change.
Come on.
And, but I still remember my story like it was yesterday, man.
Absolutely.
I remember the high before the high. I'm talking about the high before the high is when you copping and you can't hold your guts and you almost poop on yourself because you can't wait to get back to get it.
That part.
Listen, so at the end of my road, man, I'm gonna tell you something beautiful came out at the end of my road. Is that young lady I was dealing with gave birth to a little girl. And I'm gonna talk about that later on down the line. But yeah, at the end of the road, it wasn't pretty, man. You know what I mean? In the beginning, what I thought was fun was kind of fun. At least that's what my mind told me. But at the end of the road, man, it wasn't nothing funny no more, man. It wasn't nothing funny when you sitting out on the corner all night long trying to figure out when you're going to get one more with a can of 211 with a straw in it, hot as piss, trying to figure out where you're going to get another one at. So, at the end of the road, no, it wasn't pretty, man.
So let me ask y'all, did y'all get it the first time around, or was there in and out for a little while, or any of that?
Well, relapse ain't a part of my story. It is a reality. I got it one time, and I ran with it.
Wow.
Good job, Tommy. That's good stuff.
Good job for the men and women who was there with me, who showed me the way. And after being clean this long, getting high, it just ain't in my forecast.
Absolutely not.
When I arrived at that shelter, it was a wrap. You went, listen, one and done.
One and done.
I believed everything that was proceeding out of people's mouth. I knew I didn't want to catch that hell no more. I knew that I wanted to be a mother to my children, right? So it was one time. When that judge told me, you got to get yourself in a program, you got to get yourself a place to live, he gave me 5 things I needed to do. And I proceeded to do that. So it was no in and out because my goal and my aim was to be a mother to my children. So yeah, I was one and done for me.
That's good stuff. Thank you so much. Listen, we got somebody on. Could y'all hear me? Could y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh, we got I know this gotta be Letitia Richardson. She's like, hey mom, that's your daughter, Letitia Richardson. Yep, they love you, Pat. They just giving you all these big ups in the chat and everything. So if y'all love us so much, please, where them hearts at? I don't see them hearts. I need to see them hearts. You know, we like the hearts here on Bring It to the Table. Okay. If you still are on Facebook, please, where's the hearts? Click the heart, click the hearts. Thank you so much. Shelly, I received your compliment humbly. Shelly said, thanks. I told her thanks for joining. And she said that we are such an inspiration. That's what she said. Thank you so much for the compliments. I really do appreciate it. People are saying they're so proud of us. Thank you so much. This is what we know how to do. Hi, Carolyn in Baltimore. Thank you so much for joining. That's my BFF. I got clean with her. Yep, I can say that. And Angie, so blessed. Thank you so much, Miss Scott, for joining. Please click like and share. Invite someone. We are going into our second half, and we're going to talk about the clean dates. And they said how long they've been clean. Tommy, how long you been clean?
20 years. September the 5th, 2003.
And Pat?
March 22nd, 1990. March 22nd, 1990.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah, anniversary and Tommy coming up on his. Good stuff.
So happy belated. And so now you crossed over into recovery and we went to those places, right? So y'all both talked about going in. Y'all, of course, detox is the first level of getting clean. We get detox, and then from there, we go to either inpatient, long-term treatment. How was it for you? Which one did you do? Long-term, short-term, or did you just go straight to the rooms?
I went to Jefferson Cocaine Treatment Program, my mom's house, and I went to 12-step meetings.
Okay, thank you. Tommy?
Good stuff.
I actually kind of detoxed in jail. And then I got sent to a treatment facility called Self-Help in the Northeast Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And I remember getting there, right? And that program was a 120-day program, 4 months, and inpatient. But here's the hit with that program. I went there from jail. The sheriff dropped me off. I stayed there for 4 months. First month, I bullshitted around. I didn't do nothing. The second month, I started buying in. By the third month, I had bought in. By the fourth month, I was in. By the time it was time to graduate, they had offered me a job there. So I ended up working in that same facility for over 16 years.
Wow.
And then that's when I met you. And that's when I met
her. One of the best substance abuse counselors in the world.
Oh, thank you.
Because she brought a lot of real stuff to the program. And it was an all-male facility. So you know what it was like for a woman to come in an all-male facility and bring her game?
Yeah.
You know,
good stuff.
Yeah. I met Felicia there and we became co-workers and we had a great time working there, helping them men get their lives back together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The program taught me that I can't keep nothing unless I give it away. And not only that I was able to incorporate the program into my job, but I was able to incorporate real life stuff into my job. You know what I mean? Like just telling the truth. Like if you do this, this is definitely going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
say that.
I'm going to say this. I still get text messages, inboxes from guys that came through that treatment facility that be like, thank you, you used to call me Tommy Keys. Thank you, Tommy Keys. I just celebrated 5 years. Thank you, Tommy. I don't even remember the guys.
That's good stuff. So we're going to take a twist. We're going to take a twist and a turn. Everybody's in recovery now. Everybody's going through life. Everybody's getting married, divorced. I know y'all stories. Married, divorced, married, and doing all the kids are grown, doing all this stuff. And now you're facing with some challenges. What are some of those challenges and how do you get through clean? Because that's the message to our audience. Bring it to the table. We don't care what you go through. The goal is go through it, get through it to the other side clean. Can you please be transparent and tell the audience some of those things if you would like? Either one of you can go first.
Well, I'm gonna go first on this one. And I thank you for that question. You know, prior to meeting my wife that I'm married to now, I was in a prior relationship, a prior marriage. That little girl I told y'all about that I had, that we had at the end of my run, well, while I was in that treatment facility, I had to leave because DHS was at my grandmother's house to take that little girl. And I had to, didn't have nowhere to go. And my mom opened up her house to me and my daughter. And I went there and started raising my daughter. I got into a relationship with about 1.5 years clean. And I ended up marrying this person. And she helped raise my child. The relationship came to its end about 13 years into it. But what came with that was her accusing me of having a sexual relationship with my child. Listen, I can share that because I know who I am.
Come on, Tommy. Come on.
I'll tell you, that cut me like a knife, right? Yeah. Because I felt like if you didn't want to be in a relationship, just say you don't want to be in a relationship. But don't tear me down on your way out of the relationship. So, that was so devastating. It was like a nuclear bomb went off. And I found myself caught up in between, mix this life. I'm going to go back and do what I used to do.
Okay.
But the program kick in and say, and then the people from the program kick in and say, you know what? That ain't gonna happen.
So your defects resurface. What you're explaining to the audience is that despite of you being accused of a crime, your defects turned on and you proceeded to feed into them, and then your recovery kicked in. You didn't use dope. You didn't use dope.
No, I didn't get high.
Very good.
That same child to the day, has broken my heart also. We talked about this in the beginning about growing up where we grew up at. My dad did butt cuttings. You know what I mean? Her mom beat her with the switch. You talked about Big Mama. We were raised that way. So I raised my children the same way I was raised. You know what I mean? If you did something wrong, you got your butt beat.
Right.
But today the kids will go and tell other folks now that, oh, well, I got my butt beat, and somebody put in their head, well, that was abuse.
I heard that. That's going on these days.
So I just went through and still kind of going through something with the baby girl that didn't see the addiction side of her dad. That little girl and my son, 16-year-old, have never seen their dad high, have never seen their dad take a drink. Don't get this twisted. I got 3 grown children who live the horrors of addiction with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then when I got clean, I developed a good relationship with them. And then one of them started going, it's just, listen, you talk about surviving your emotions and not you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I refuse to do though, Felicia, is I refuse to let them kids hold me hostage from my past.
That's right. That's called emotional hostage. We ain't doing none of that. That's right. Thank you so much. Y'all heard it right here on Bring It to the Table. You heard what he said. Stop letting them kids hold y'all hostage to your past. The past is
right. That's right.
It's the past. Keep that stuff back there. if they bring it to the forefront, we already got skills. We got recovery. We know what to do. Come on, Pat. Tell us some more struggles. Come on. Good stuff. Y'all heard it to the table. Emotional hostage. Stop letting them kids do that to you.
You know, I got to say it for that, right, Tommy? Trying to hold me to my past is like trying to burglarize a house I no longer live in.
Absolutely. Don't live there no more. Absolutely.
That's dope. Thank you so much, Tommy. That was real raw. That was great. Thank you.
So
one of the things that
well, Pat's gonna share her. Yeah.
So I moved up, left Philadelphia, came up to Delaware County area, found behind one of my daughters. And she lived up here. And I was trying to find meetings in this area. So up in the Darby area, they was everywhere I went. We have a house in Sharon Hill. I'm looking for a meeting. Everybody kept telling me about this guy named Tommy. I don't know the people. I don't know nobody here. And so I'm at a diner eating. And the young lady said, I heard you was trying to find a meeting. Go to Darby Hilltop and ask for Tommy. So I go to Darby Hilltop and I ask for Tommy. And I used to call him Nephew Tommy.
Sure did.
He was so welcoming. He was so nice. He was so polite and so kind. And every single Wednesday, I would put on my Sunday's best.
Showing off.
And sashay myself to the meeting, right? And we would just talk. I mean, for weeks and months, all he did was come from that, at the end of the meeting, he holding his hand back and say, give me a minute, and walk me to my car. And he would sit at my car with me, and we would talk for hours at my car, right? So I met him right at a meeting that he had started. So I'm sitting there.
I remember that, Tommy.
Because me and Felicia worked together down at another program for years. It was an all-male facility, and it was like so awesome working with her, and we became very close. And I began to ask people about this guy, even Felicia. And he's like, he got some rough stuff he went through, and I knew about his prior experiences, so I knew he was in a vulnerable state. He wasn't trusting relationships. He wasn't trusting women, and all I can remember is I was thinking, through the fire, through the limits, through the wall, for a chance to be with you, I can risk it all. I know you're scared of what you feel. He needed some time to heal. So I just let him be him. And I watched him. He would invite me over. He would make dinner, right? Fat people like to eat. He gonna take a picture of a pot of spaghetti. So I got a funny. I don't have a funny diet. I just don't eat everything. So he knew I didn't eat no pork. I didn't eat no beef. And he made this pot of turkey spaghetti. And
baby, that'll do it. That'll do it, Tommy. Get him, Tommy. Get him, Tommy.
He said, dinner's ready. Let me tell you this. I need you, because people need to hear this. When I met my husband, he was living here in Darby. I was in Sharon Hill. He was raising, he had his daughter. Both his daughters were living here. His granddaughter, right? He would ask me to come over and he would feed me off one paycheck. One paycheck. He had a car. He had a career. He was inside the 12-step process. He was, he was everything I always wanted in a human being. Let alone in a human being. He was always he just gave me an atmosphere of, I got you. You ain't got to worry about nothing no more. And let me tell you what he did, because he'll say something else. He used to say, come on over, and I would come over and I would, do his daughter hair and stuff. So one particular time I was doing his daughter hair, he said, come upstairs for a minute. And I said, anything after 9 o'clock is a booty call. And he was like, I'm not going to bite you. Girl, not only did he bite me.
Bob Pat. Oh, God. Them kids.
Listen.
Oh, I know the charm he put on you. I know, Tommy. I already know. And he had done lost that weight too. Remember that, Tommy?
He sent me all of these love letters and all these love messages. He would sing to me. He would dance with me. And he was just so awesome. Like, a lot of given days. See, I'm that girl that used to know a joker got to live with me in my house and my stuff. For the first time in my entire life, and I'm in my 60s, I never lived with a man. A man always moved in my house. I moved into his house, and he treated me like a princess. Rough patches, absolutely. But in the end, before we go to bed at night, right, I call myself running. He'd be like, listen, Pat, go to bed, get some sleep, wake up with a fresh set of eyes. Because right now, you all over the place. And he would just say, Pat, time out, go to bed. You're not my brother. Because I want to fuss. He would neutralize it and have me remember what I stand for, man. That's a real man. That's a real man.
That's the real man. Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Know, like, he would just buy me stuff and bring. He brought all my sneakers because I never wore sneakers. You know me, Felicia. I was like, he buy me stuff. He brought me pocketbooks, and I was like, who does this? I would come in this house, he would have flowers.
Oh, man. That's right.
What you give me flowers for?
That's good. Because you're the queen. That's what a queen is. A king treating you like a queen.
That's what it do.
That's right. That's right.
One thing you learn when you're in another relationship and you decide to get into another relationship is you learn not only from the mistakes you might have made in the previous relationship, but you learn to do way better than what you did in the first relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she talked about the rough patches. There were rough patches. There was a time, right, when I kind of didn't know if I really wanted to be married. And it wasn't because of her when she did something. It was me. You know, I had a hard time getting past what was done to me in that first marriage. And I wasn't letting nobody in. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you changed your mind.
You know, it took time. It's still taking time. It takes work. You know, ain't no marriage perfect. You know. Everybody ain't gonna like you because you married. Everybody ain't gonna like the marriage. You know what I mean?
Right, but let me stop you right there. I'm sorry for the sake of time because we only got like 7 minutes left on the show. But the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, bottom line, through it all, two things I want you to get from a married couple in recovery that faces challenges, because everybody does. And if you ain't in no relationship right now, guess what? You still got problems in your life. And Are you getting through them clean? Two things. They stayed together and honored their vows regardless of what went on. That's one. They found their role as husband and wife. It appears that they developed the value. They know the value of marriage. Okay. They value one another in their marriage because they still together. That's number one. Oh, no, I'm getting ready to tell them because I do a thorough assessment all the time. Okay, I'm thorough in my stuff. Okay, the bottom line is, and they went through it, they got through it. Guess what? Clean. They didn't use dope. They ain't used no drugs, and they ain't went to jail. They ain't caused no bodily injury and harm to one another. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Guess what? They married in recovery, doing the daggone thing. Take that and put that in your pipe and smoke that.
Felicia, I only been in 2 relationships since I got clean. Every relationship I've been in since in 20 years, I always just for me, I feel like I have to be with somebody that's practicing the same thing I am.
That's called being in the house. That's a part of being. That's a part of being equally yoked, Tommy. And you two got
Good
that.
luck.
I'm proud of y'all. We're going to get ready to end the show. There's a lot of comments in the chat. Your children are there. They're going to hear. Your kids say they grew up in recovery. Pat, your kids the same. They are recovery kids, okay?
Yeah.
They say they recovery kids. That's what they saying. They saying you raised some recovery kids. That's what they giving you kudos in that chat.
I want to show him something. Listen, I want to show him something. He don't know this. This early today while he was at work, I dipped off on a lunch break. And I'm taking it to the next level, P.
Come on.
Our bank card now says Patricia Davis.
Come on. Do it. Won't you do it? Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's right.
It's more.
Keep the fire burning, Pat. Keep that fire burning, Pat.
My old driver's license says Richardson. My new driver's license I got today, because I knew we were going to do this, like Patricia Davis.
Come on. That's how you do it.
I called my lawyer.
Come on. Put it on the table. Bring it to the table.
And this property that we own at one and Sharon Hill is now going to be between me and my husband, and we're going to take that house.
Come on.
And build a paradise. You talking about the dreams, right? You talking about the hope. You talking about the aspiration. My lawyer said Thomas Davis, who is your husband, Patricia Davis, will be the proprietors of that property. And can no man, no woman, nobody come between that.
Well, there it is, folks. You heard it right here on Bring It to the Table.
Happy Father's Day to my husband.
Happy Father's Day, Tommy, on Bring It to the Table, baby. That's how we do it here. Live and uncut, baby. Live and uncut, baby. Happy Father's Day. That's how you do it, Pat. That's how you do it. Your husband loves you, and you love him, and that's all that matters. And Raheem in the audience saying, yes, yes, yes. People would, oh, man, they going ham. I'm not reading all that stuff. But final words, what would you tell a couple in recovery? We got 3 minutes. Final words. Couple in recovery.
Keep people out of your business. My sponsor don't sponsor my marriage. I don't talk to her about my marriage. It ain't none of her business. She sponsored me through the program that I belong to.
So
we
Pat
don't talk about stuff.
Pat said keep people out your business. You heard it right here on Bring It to the Table. Pat said keep them out your business. Come on, Tommy.
Keep an open-minded communication, no matter what happened.
With your spouse. You mean with your spouse?
Yeah, no matter what happened between you and your spouse, try not to go to bed mad.
And we got date night.
And if you do have, and you know what? Take a time out. Like Friday night is date night, no matter what.
Okay.
And if my son here for that Friday, then we all go out on a date. We go to the movies or something.
Nice. That's good stuff. So,
I didn't know date night meant so much until I missed it one day. I went out with my friend and I got a horrible text. I never mixed date night again.
I know that's right. Azzam, you want to wrap it up, Azzam?
Where you at?
Yes, I want to wrap it up.
Oh, this was great. This was so good.
The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, be kind, for whenever kindness becomes part of something, it beautifies it, which we've seen tonight. Whenever it's taken from something, it leaves it tarnished. Y'all are shining.
Yes.
Y'all, a little bit of y'all with a whole lot of us. May the God of your understanding be pleased with y'all. Congratulations once again, Tommy. I see you coming up on another clean day, right?
Yes, sir.
If it's on Zoom, please send the link. I'll show up.
That's right. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Please come back. Guess what? Doc B is turning 19 years clean on June the 30th. Azzam is going to interview me right after that in July. Azzam is turning how many years, Azzam?
29 years.
29 years, and I'm going to interview him. Oh, you don't want to miss it. Please come back next Thursday night. Thursday night is going to be popping. Come on back. We love the Davises. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Davis, for coming on Bring It to the Table. Peace out. We'll see you next week. Peace out. Good night. God bless. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Miss Scott. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.